kicking out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico, expose these clowns.
Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2. Welcome to the Freddy Chico show. Appreciate you, Jackson and Dap, in the building already. You know how we do in the first 5 minutes? We are going to do Rep Your City. Let me go ahead and get that clock started. There we go. Make sure that it's running. Rep your city. Let me know where you're coming from, where you're checking in from, before we get started on the topic today. Uh-oh, I don't think it went through. There it is. Okay. Slaptown in his house. Okay. Hi, Dap. Invite some people. Let them know we're here. We got to do part 2 because we only scratched the surface last week. And, you know, a lot of people are still in the fog about what man hate is in the church. They swear up and down they don't know what they're talking about, never seen it. It's like a myth, a legend, you know, nothing real. Walter Lazandra was good. But we're going to educate tonight. That's what we do. And hopefully we can reach somebody who was lost before. You know, it's not a guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but hopefully I reach one lost person tonight. My work will be done. You know. ATL, appreciate that. College Park, ATL. Brenda, welcome. Just about to send you an invite. Appreciate you coming through. Working on some things down the way, you know, just trying to improve slowly but surely. Yolanda with the E, welcome. Anchorage, Alaska. Just a little chilly up there. Just a little. I hope y'all ready. Patricia is in the building. Welcome. I hope y'all strap your seatbelts on because brace for impact. We're about to get into this heavy today. There's a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to get last week and may not be able to get all of it this week, so possibly there might be a part 3. I had some conversations. Oh, yeah, let me see if I can get them in here, too. I had some conversation with some people that are just like clueless. They have no idea this even exists. And typically, that means they're the culprit. That's why they don't understand it, because they're guilty of doing this. People have gotten so disrespectful these days that they just it's like normal conversation. Um, okay, 50 degrees is hot, and 60 is cold in Georgia. So, yeah, I can understand. When I was out there in Seattle, I thought 40 degrees was hot. Um, but so you out there in t-shirt and shorts? Yeah, manhate is when people talk crap about dads but give props to moms. Well, that post you had was man hate, and I know Lysandra disagrees, but I guarantee you if they ask, what TV mom yours, there's not going to be no blank spot for the moms that are not there. And trust me, there's plenty of moms out there that are absent, but they love to throw that stuff in, men's face because they hate their dad. Well, hate your dad by yourself. I'm just saying. Man, and that's the other thing. People say they don't know about man hate because nothing is man hate to them. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. 40 degrees is smoking hot. All right, 25 seconds left on the rep your city. Everybody say where they're from. Good evening, Brenda. Invite a friend. Let somebody know from Truth Hurts. We on. I gotta see if Chauncey is on. He been hiding on me. I think I got everything. Okay, that is it. So we are gonna get into the show. Um, Give me 1 second. Clear, clear. And this one here. Where's my background? All right, cool. All right, is that everything I need? Okay. All right, and introducing my special guest for the evening to discuss this and how possibly be a different perspective on man hate in the church is none other than my boy from the Bronx, Boogie Down. DSMALLS is in the building. What's up, my brother?
What's good, bro? Thank you for
Hey, we're gonna
having
get
me.
into this. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, Doc.
In the chat room. Let me know if y'all can hear him. Jose, what's going on? Clifford, what's going on? David, what's going on? Welcome. Sorry you missed the Rep Your City part, but we are getting started, getting into this topic. Man hate in the church. Why does the Christian church hate men? Um, Jose represent the first guy to have the face mask, the Freddy Chico face mask. You know. Um, Appreciate you. Oh yeah, and before I get started on that, I always like to give props to everyone who supported. First and foremost, it was you. You were the first one to hear the call and answer the bell. I appreciate you, D Smalls.
No problem, man.
Um, then we had my wife, then Walter, then let me see. I got to make sure I got everybody on here. Stroud, my parents, Jose, who just checked in, David, my cousin, Aishan, and Lysandra. Appreciate y'all. There are people that say they support, and there's people that support. You folks have actually supported me, and I appreciate y'all. It does, and when you got your stuff, did you see the card that comes with it to say, hey,
Uh,
appreciate you.
I did, because when you was saying that, I said, man, I ain't getting nothing. This guy here, I had to go back to the package. Good thing I ain't throw it away, man.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I said,
So
man.
next purchase, hit your boy up. I'm coming
Definitely,
up with new stuff.
I've been looking. I'm gonna buy again. You know that.
Gotcha. I appreciate you, man. Keita, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. We'll be talking about church man hate tonight, part two. He said, if any woman dating or married to a man that doesn't do for him just is wrong, because there's no way I would date or be married to a man to have children and don't do this for his own children. Okay, sad part, I don't even think a woman made that post about dads. It doesn't matter if a woman didn't make the post. There's plenty of corny dudes that love to kiss women's behinds that'll make that post and have no problem doing it. You know, he said, I'm the only girl amongst three brothers. Man hate will never be my legacy. I dislike both genders equally. Gotcha. Hey, be equal. Equal opportunity. I hear you, Brenda. Um, it may take some time, but I try to keep my word. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to knock anybody who was not first or second, third, or what have you. Support is support, and I appreciate it. Why would anyone attend or stay at a church that's doing all that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Well, and see that's a loaded question, because a lot of people will be stuck between a rock and a hard place of, do I go for the church
Do
where
I
I'm
go for
getting
God?
spiritually fed, or I'm seeking it, or quitting? And sometimes neither one of those choices are good.
And
So,
I'm gonna talk about that too, which is a good reason why we're outnumbered in the church
right.
majority of the time too.
And then she's like, if that's going on in your church and you dislike it, please leave the church. Find a church that you like and you're happy with. All churches have something. No church is perfect. Go to church for the word, not for others. Well, what happens when all of them are like that? Because like I said, these people that talk about
Majority,
there's no manhead in church, let me see that church, and I'm gonna show
majority.
you where it is. I'm just saying. Jason, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. We got some business to attend to after this, but I appreciate you checking in. We are talking about man hate in the church. Let me know what you think in the comments. But go ahead. You said you have something you want to say on that?
Yeah, like when I was doing research on it, because it's like here in America, women make up 60% of the church, like as a whole. So
Mm-hmm.
we're dominantly outnumbered.
Right.
Women are not only in attendance, are they outnumbering us? Is volunteer work in the church? Is leadership? Is prayer? Sharing their faith? Men are reading their Bible. We're less likely to do that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
actually, and most men that are in the church are passive,
Extremely.
extremely
Extremely.
passive and bored. So it's like you got to understand that, and it's like 90%. It's like 90% of the church is not visible because nobody's speaking on it. Nobody's really talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The gender gap is very visible, but it's like it's not talked about because 90% of the church is led by males.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So they
and
say if they don't want to do it, if they don't want this to happen, why aren't the men changing it?
right, exactly. And then you have like this guy called his name is Leon Poodles, I believe
Mm-hmm.
that's how you say his name. He said
Mm-hmm.
the modern church is an army of women led by a few generals that are male. You know
Right,
what
and
I'm
I would
saying?
actually
So,
say that sometimes it's almost like a pimping mentality when it comes to the
hmm
women, because it's like, look, if you have too many men, they may pick your con game apart, and
hmm
so you'd rather just, and I hate to say it, outsmart these women
hmm
to keep getting them to support your church versus a man that might call you out on your foolishness.
right. And the crazy part is this: it's not only just here in America, and it should blow some people's minds because in other religions we
Hmm.
don't have this issue. We don't have this issue. I have friends that are in Islam.
Right?
Muslims don't have that issue.
Nope.
Judaism don't have that issue.
Nope.
Buddhism don't have this issue. All types Hinduism. You keep going.
Right.
Even overseas, you can count 10 women to one man that attends a church.
Mm.
And each church, and this is overseas, and this is basically in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Majority in Christianity, no other organization, religion, however you want to put it, has this issue but Christianity. And you tell me why. You get what I'm saying? So
Right. And like I said, I think for Yolanda, it's hard for women to relate to that because they don't have to walk through it with their own walking in their shoes. So it's easy to say, why don't you just do such and such? It's been done. It's been attempted. I promise you. I've been in ministry a long time, and a lot of the people that do that, when they get the conversation with the leader and the leader is not with it, they walk. And
right,
so then they turn around and say, "Oh, because the guy he doesn't want to take leadership from somebody else." No, they're foul. You know, who wants to sit up there in church every Sunday and be vilified every Sunday, and then have somebody say it's not that bad to be vilified because we're helping this woman who got her feelings hurt by some bad decision she made. Rebecca, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Oh no, hold on. Okay. See, so you came back. All right.
yeah, I was
It locks
ready.
up every now and then. I'm like, ah,
I, I was ready.
yeah. So I don't know if you missed that. Um, where Yolanda was saying something about why don't you just try this or whatnot, and it's like, sometimes they can't relate to it because it's you know, th-
I was gonna
not a
elaborate on
walk
it.
they do. Go ahead.
And am I back on?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna elaborate on it, and like I mentioned in the previous live that you did, sometimes it's not as aggressive as people are insinuating or trying to think that it would be. It's very subtle. And this is what you got to understand. When manipulation is done, it is subtle. It is done in a peculiar way, where it is not entirely seen as soon as it happens. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
here's a thing of an example of man hate. In many churches that I have been to, I have not yet, even if you want to listen to it on the internet or whatever, and if you could tell me different, I would love to hear a sermon or something from your pastor that encourages men to constantly come or say and elaborate that the church do need men. Not only do
Yes, with
men need
not a
church,
qualifier. It's like we don't need the men to like paint the walls or
right,
scrub toilets or something like that, cut the grass.
right. I
The
mean,
same breath, the same
be
energy.
be in church, that the church needs a man. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? And you have to realize it many times in many people's sermons and when they're counseling, it
Hmm.
is catered to the women.
Absolutely.
Where
But they don't want to
you'll hear,
acknowledge that.
yeah, where you'll
They're
hear,
trying to say, oh, you could put a man and a woman in that same spot. Why do I always put the woman in the spot then?
right, right, exactly. So why is it that when people are speaking, they'll go, honey, you need this. If a man don't do this, if a man don't do that, if a
Right.
man did this, but what are you doing? And why aren't we hearing, my brother, if a woman is not this and this and this, then you need to
Right.
this. You
Nope.
you
You got to cover
rarely
her. All of
ever
her
hear
weaknesses, you got
that.
to cover.
Exactly. No matter what if she could be weak, oh, you got to be strong for her.
Right.
She could be this, you have to be this for her. But
Right.
where is it taught that they have, y'all have to be, women have to be a
There's
certain
not
way for
anything
men?
that says women have to do anything.
It's not.
Women and have to don't mix in the
Right,
church.
right,
Not
right,
once.
right. Exactly.
You don't
Because
have to do
when you go
nothing.
when you go to other cultures and religion, the women are held accountable.
Right.
Not saying that is always right, but they have accountability for them things that you have control on what your husband do. He should not lack,
Right.
and that he wouldn't do this. Not all the time that is perfect. You get what I'm saying? But it is some form of accountability where you have substantial evidence that it is progressive.
Right.
When you are held accountable, you do better. It is no crutch to lean on. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no, oh, God is gonna, no, 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 no. What are you gonna do? you have to do something in order for God to
Right.
work in
But
it. You
but
get
the
what I'm
first
saying?
part, just like in any type of addiction, is to acknowledge there is a problem. But if we can't get people to even acknowledge there is an issue when it comes to um, man hate, we can't go get past goal. We can't get
Mhm.
past first base.
Well,
That
uh, oh,
because like I
okay.
said, I've talked to so many men who have said they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to man hate, and I'm like, that's a first sign or a big red flag that you castrated if you can't see it.
Mhm.
Because Stevie Wonder knows they got man hate going on, and the most easiest one to recognize or to see, and I was like, I'll choose any church you would say
mhm.
and say, how do they celebrate Mother's Day? How do
Mhm.
they celebrate Father's Day? And it's not even like, okay, well, one was a 9 and one was a 10. No.
Mhm.
One was a 10 and one was a 2.
Mhm.
And they have no problem with it. Look you dead in the eye and say, we love you at a 2.
And it's funny because it's like, all right, you some people say they don't see it, but are you really looking for it? That's the thing as well. Because as I was growing up, I didn't experience man hate, but as I got older, I started to identify some things, how things are more catered to women in the church. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then
And
yet
then you
when
have
you
those
have
dudes that are like, I don't need anything. So I'm going to speak for every other man.
right, and then when I look at and it's crazy because it's when I seen churches with women that are in leadership,
Mm-hmm.
somebody gonna get mad, but I don't care. Uh, you tend when you have those follower of women
Mm-hmm.
there, and then you have the men that follow. It's like the roles are reversed.
Mm.
Roles are reversed and walk. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The women are more empowered and are doing things, and then the men are just like so passive to the point it's like, where's your backbone? And it's like,
Non-existent. Non-existent.
and it becomes as if a brain, like they're brainwashed to understand that, oh, I should worship or treat this woman this way, and then she ain't even worth a penny.
Correct. And I would say to that, two things to that. One, there's the belief that women is more spiritual than men because there's more women in the
And that's
church
not
than
that's
men.
not true.
Right.
And
It's not
that's
true at
not
all.
true.
But the other part of that is when you said um how the roles are reversed and it's actually they get their lead from the woman
Right.
that they all actually well let me back up but the many men that I've met, I've always seemed to see that the woman is the aggressive person and the
Hmm.
man is like you said, super passive or what have you.
Right.
Um, and if I ask the guy something, he's gonna turn to his wife and say, "Hey, what do I think?"
Hmm.
And so
Right.
she's like, "Oh,
Right.
you should do such and
Right.
such." Like,
Or what
wait a
do
minute,
you
what do
think?
you think? I asked
Right.
you. You
Right.
know, what is your ideas?
Right.
Um, and if you don't, you're the problem. You
Hmm.
know, don't try to be chauvinistic or don't try to be controlling of this woman. But if she says it, it's like, oh, she's looking out for you because she knows better
Yeah.
than you do.
And it's not, Yolanda, it's not that I have experienced it in my church. If now, Freddie, I invited you whenever you out here to come to my church. My pastor and I are very, very strong men. That's one thing. He laid it down, he let it know what it is, and if
Mm-hmm.
you with it, you with it. If you're not, then that's it. But he and I and the men in our church uplift each other. We have men's ministry, we have everything. We make sure that our men are men. You get me?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, because that's the other thing is if you're gonna have a church, I guarantee you have a women's ministry. Men's
oh yeah, yeah,
ministry
yeah.
is not a
It's
guarantee.
there. It's there.
And
But
if they have a
watch
ministry, the
this.
men is gonna be first
We
before the
had
men.
when we had men's ministry
Mm-hmm.
and young men were coming, we had their mothers trying to tell us what to do and what to say. No, that don't work like that.
Right.
You're a woman. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're going to entrust us to teach this young man how to be a man,
Right. It
you
ain't coming
don't
from you.
dictate what a man is supposed to do and what a man is. You
Not at
get what I'm saying?
all. Not at
You're
all.
trying to make him. You want him to make him into the man that you want.
Right.
We're trying to make him into the man that he needs to be
Correct.
and that he is called to be.
Absolutely. And
So
I know that might make some people salty because,
yeah, but
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I
me
don't care.
neither.
I come from a line of men where some people will say, "Oh, you live in a caveman type." Listen, so if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But what I know is when my daddy and my grandfather and everybody else helped mold me into the man I am.
Right.
That's exactly what I am. I don't have nobody persuade me to do anything. If a woman doesn't feel that I'm not this way, and she doesn't want me, then baby, you can go.
Right.
You get me? I'm not
Absolutely.
lowering my standards or my belief for anyone in the line of what a man is supposed to be. You can't teach me how to be a man. The one thing I hate, and yes, I do hate, is when a woman says I have to teach a man how to be a man. You can't even teach yourself to be a follow in line of what a woman is supposed to do and be. So
Right.
how dare you even open up your mouth and say that you can
That's
teach
what
a
I.
man how to be a man?
That you just remind me. That's where I was going. I lost my thought on that. It's like when it comes to Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Oh, I hate it, Doc. I hate it. We can't enjoy it.
No,
We
no. But
can't
what I'm saying,
enjoy
just what you
Father's
just
Day.
said, it's like this woman could have 5 different baby daddies, but still will come out of her mouth and ask me, "Are you doing what you're supposed to do as a father before I get a happy Father's Day?" And like you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a mother. But
Exactly.
nobody vets you for your Mother's Day. They just say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Happy Mother's Day," and it's coming around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And watch, even with this pandemic going on, there's gonna be people trying to do something for Mother's Day.
Right.
Now watch them same folks on Father's Day.
Right, right. And you know what's crazy? Because there's a lot of single fathers that is not talked about.
I know
And
some
you
that's in the
don't
room right now.
and
I'm
you
not gonna
don't
call them
hear
out, but
you don't
.
you don't hear any man ever say, I don't get a happy Mother's Day.
Right.
Not why? Because we're not a mother. We're a man.
We don't have
We're
the
not trying to
tools.
be nobody mama. We're doing the
Nope.
best that we can as a man and a parent.
But the ultimate reason for that is they just need to have all the accolades.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
need a little bit. They want all the accolades.
And it's crazy because you have these same people who raise these young men to be how they are. And then these idiots are saying my mama was the daddy and the mama. How is that even possible? That is not even
It's just
scientifically
something to get a
possible.
shot at the
It,
dad because
and,
they
and,
mad at their dad.
and exactly. And that's where man hate comes from. Because not only is man hate from women, it's also from other men
Absolutely.
because of their
Absolutely. I look them in the eye all day
experiences.
long.
Because of their experiences, and they have a hatred for whoever the daddy is or father was in their life, or
Right.
whoever did them wrong that was a man. They tend to hate every other man that seems to remind them of them because how boisterous you are. So
Absolutely.
you try to chop down
Absolutely.
every man, and that's how it's in the church. Because a
Right.
lot of time when you look at these preachers and these women, and they have a lot of daddy issues. A
Absolutely.
lot.
Absolutely. And you know what? I keep disappointing myself because I send invites to people who I know aren't gonna show up, and but yet they will have all this energy saying, "No, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong." Where
Mm-hmm.
that? Where are they? Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking to you, Jason, but um, but um, but yeah. So, and that's some of the comments. Before I go any further, we're at the midway point, so I have to do my little sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second. Gotta put this somewhere where I can play it and it doesn't mess up. I'll put it down here.
We knocking out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico.
Expose these clowns!
I will. So yeah, I had to get that in there. As far as my notes are concerned, we talked about the Mother's Day. Talked about the belief that women are more spiritual than men. What about biased interpretation
Yeah.
of the word?
I'm sorry. Let me just touch that real quick too.
Go ahead.
The last one you said, right?
Yeah.
People gonna get mad at this too. You gotta understand one thing. It's no way you can be more spiritual than a man, and here's why. When God first created man, who did He create? Adam in His image.
Right.
Now, people take the context, because it's going into what you said too. Take the context of it and say, "Oh, He created every man and woman in the image of Him." No, God is a man. This is why it says, "I created." We will create him in our image. This is God talking to Himself, and when He created Adam, and this is why we look and resemble what God is. You get what I'm saying? So we have a direct connection due to being a direct spiritual offspring of the Master. So now when you have women, this is why they need to learn to play their role and be where they are. Because once you do that, this shows true encouragement, and you will understand and realize when the man hate is happening. Because when He took Adam and put him into a deep sleep, He took the rib and made Eve. Now, not only are you a part of it, this is where and without us, there would be no you. You get me? So
Right.
when God created
But
us,
they wanted to say it the other
in
way
His
around.
image,
They was like, you got to
they
respect
wanted
the
to do the
mother,
other way around.
but you don't want to respect the father.
They don't know how to honor a man.
Nope, not at all.
You get me? Because it's too many issues that happen. It's too many things that and then the poison that they've been fed for so many generations and years, they're still spewing it out into the later generation. So until you learn to honor the man that you are encountering, because yeah, you have some bad men that need some
Yeah.
guidance.
Right, but it's like, why do they have to speak for everybody? But the crackhead female coming out the
don't speak for
whorehouse,
every woman.
she don't speak for everybody. And matter of fact, they're trying to give her, a pass on it and saying, oh, it's because her daddy did something to her.
Her
She's
life
not
was
really
this,
bad.
and her life was that. Like it's a bunch of crap, man.
Yeah.
But the last thing you said was the
Brenda.
interpretation, right?
See, I knew somebody was gonna jump on what you said and go way left on it. Brenda, that is incorrect. Brenda's in here talking about God never spoke to Eve, Adam was the head and held responsible for both of their actions. No, that is incorrect. I need you to read your scripture again.
No,
because that's not accurate at all.
God dealt directly with Adam. You on point there. You're on point. He's on to the point of when He was searching for them, He was calling for both of them.
Correct. Not
And
only
He asked,
that,
why
they
did
try to
y'all
act like
hide from me?
no.
You get what I'm saying?
Right, but what I'm saying is, it was never a point where people try to present it that Adam was like, hey, God needs to talk to me, so you stay here while I talk to God, and we walk in fellowship.
They were both in the presence.
So
They both
stop
they
that.
both
They were
seen
both
God's
responsible
face.
for their actions, not just Adam.
Because if you look at it, if Adam would have never taken a bit of the fruit, who would have been responsible? Eve alone.
Right.
And
And
then she would have had
if Eve
to
was
deal
not
with it.
responsible, she wouldn't have got punished.
Exactly.
Both were punished.
Right.
But people forget that because that doesn't line up with kissing women's behinds and allowing them to get away with everything, which goes into what I'm saying now as far as the biased interpretations. Every instance where a woman did something wrong in the Bible, you'll have somebody say it's not really that bad. But every instant where the guy falls, David, Solomon, Saul, it's Adam. Oh man, it's the worst thing that's ever happened. And if it wasn't for them, we would be in such a paradise. But because of them and these men, because they always have to have a reflection on the current men to, oh, don't be like David and, taking Bathsheba in, nothing about David's courage, against Goliath. None of that stuff. It's more, hey, these flawed men got to be fixed. I messed you up. All right, you're back. But I don't know where you missed.
Probably 5 minutes of 2 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, Brenda, she tried to go there, because of your comment. Let's see here. Good. All right, cool. But yeah, so I mean, and people, that's a form of man hate. When you are biasly interpreting the Bible to fit or to kiss women's behinds,
Oh, she
that's
said
man
that
hate.
she didn't mean like he only spoke to, meaning he only addressed Adam. Not that he never spoke to Eve. She said what I meant was that he addressed Adam, and I wasn't saying that he was held. Oh, only held accountable. Adam held held Adam accountable. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I get what she's talking about. Why it says Adam was the head of his household, and God addressed him, and that's on point. It's on point, but it's not like he just ignored Eve as well.
The reason why I disagree with it is because there's a lot of preachers, male preachers, who want to go overboard with the accountability, where they go, well, because of the sequence of events, Eve ate the fruit first, and nothing happened. But when Adam ate the fruit, that's when they were kicked out. So that's the reason why it was wrong. As if to say, if Eve only ate the fruit, nothing would have happened, and Adam would have covered her, and they would still be in the garden, and nothing else.
No,
That's some BS.
no,
to
because
kiss women's behinds.
because you got to understand. Then that means that God is a liar, because when it says that God is a just God, you get me? It's not about being fair. It's not. If Adam didn't touch it, he would still be there. You get me? Eve would have had to deal with the consequences of disobeying God. It's not the point that she ate the fruit. It's the point that you disobeyed me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm
'Cause I
sorry,
told
and this
you
is the
not
second
to
part of
touch it.
that. The second part of that, where people like say, well, only God told Adam, so Eve didn't really know, and so it's not really her fault that she ate because she didn't get told this by God
you told me,
directly. That's
if you told
bullcrap.
me something, and that we're not supposed, let's say me and your son was outside. You said, listen, don't go past the driveway for whatever reason. Just don't do it. If your son goes past the driveway, you get what I'm saying? Now, you didn't directly tell me. But the rules still are accountable to me. You get what I'm
True.
saying? So
But
it's
not
like
to get too
he
deep in
knows.
it, but when Adam was told this, Eve wasn't there, but technically she was. Because
Right.
where did Eve come from?
From him.
From him. And
Exactly.
in the scripture that says we create them, meaning they were one.
Right.
Before
Exactly.
she was taken out. So her spirit or what have you was in the one, which is Adam. So she knew.
Right.
It wasn't no secondhand,
Right.
I just, got it
you
from
a
Adam
bishop,
later,
Doc.
and I really didn't
You
know
a
if it was
bishop.
real or not. Get over that.
I'm calling you Bishop Freddy from now on.
I'm just saying, people think I don't know the word, so they
You a
slide the
bishop,
stuff
Doc.
in like, no. Both messed up. Both gave a weak excuse for why they messed up, and all this extra stuff where it's like trying to throw more blame on the dude than the guy, than the girl, is garbage. Straight up garbage.
Because it's the point of, like, when it happened, she knew she was wrong.
Right.
She took the fruit. She didn't leave it there and bring it to the tree. She took it with her and said, listen, do this because the serpent told me this, and that. Adam seen that. See, it's a lot of speculation because when you tend to be with your spouse sometimes, you kind of do dumb things. And because you love them, you don't want to see them go through things by themselves and then you follow along suit. And that's some of the issues we have in church now. But, he still took it. But I knew deep down in his heart, he knew he was not supposed to. And the simple fact is because Adam ran and Eve followed and then they hid themselves. And then he asked Adam, why are you hiding from me? You get what I'm saying? So when he's asking Adam, why are you hiding from me? God already knew something was up.
I mean, yeah, he was asking a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
But this is where it's a problem, though. Because people take that mentality and go, okay, your husband, you're a wife. Your wife goes out there and murders 5 people. Husband, why'd you let that happen? I'm sorry. I have more responsibility than God? Because you dang sure not going to blame God for her murdering those 5 people. But all of a sudden, my accountability is more than God. That makes absolutely no sense. That would actually line up with Adam's excuse. Well, this is the woman you made me. You gave this woman to me, and she did this.
Walter said that's like saying I didn't rob the bank, I just drove the car. You partook in it, right, bro?
I mean, come on. Jerome,
Exactly.
hey, the people that came in, I'm sorry, Chanel, see you, and Gerald, welcome. You said taking Mother's Day as an example. I have no problem giving her reverence. She bore that child. She went through the pain. Hell, matter of fact, it goes all the way back to the ancients where you think the phrase she was reverend. Okay, did he say something else about that? Peter, what's going on? I know he's a scripture reader. Um, but but yeah, so I think that goes down a bad, slope of, you know, women can do no wrong and there's no accountability.
Yeah,
Biased testimonies. Whenever you hear a
I was
testimony in the church,
just
there's
speaking
always
on
some
that.
sad woman who's been abused by some dude, you know, left her with the kids,
Hmm.
abused her for 20 years, all kind of crap. See a dude coming up there telling me my
Hmm.
woman did this bad to me. Now, y'all correct me if wrong
Hmm.
if y'all seen dudes up there for testimony. Every time I see a testimony, it's some whiny woman. Am I wrong?
Hmm.
I mean, do y'all see something
True.
different? And it's the same story on repeat. Oh, these men, and they turn and look at you. I didn't date her,
Hmm.
you know, but uh,
And,
but it
and
don't
the thing
stop
is
them.
with that too is like we we as men are not allowed to feel some type of way. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? And a lot of people will say, "Oh no, that's true. We know you have feelings." Yes, we do, and understand that everybody don't think like you, but we cannot produce or show weakness in any form or fashion because we are ridiculed and belittled for even doing it, and not only by women but by our own peers who
Okay.
are supposed to be men and have an understanding. And unless you are a real man, I know that my brother is gonna go through something, bro. If you need to cry, you need to do that. Doesn't make you any less of a man because we all have that breaking point. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We tend
Hey,
to hold
Latanya.
things in a lot, but that's the other thing about churches. They is no space. This is why unless it's in men's ministry,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of churches that are with women leadership don't have men's ministry.
Nah. I
So
mean, they have pastors
it,
that say, I do not want men to be encouraged. I only want the women to be encouraged. But let me get to Brenda. She said she wanted me to read her comment that she agrees with both of us. Um, I see where you're trying to. You said may not have come out the way you wanted it to come out. Ultimately, the only thing that I have a disagreement with is where the blame is like heavily on the guy and none on the girl. Other than that, I don't have a disagreement with you, Brenda. Um, that if that's what you're talking about, we're on the same page. Both of them crossed the line. Both of them knew. And I hate the people that talk about, oh, well, Eve really didn't know because she wasn't really there. So it's not her fault that she, made a bad decision
right.
because she wasn't at the initial meeting or she was never told it. Only Adam was told it, and he's the only one that should be
You
responsible.
dissected that good though, Doc. When you
That's
explained
all
it,
I'm
that was
saying.
real good.
Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Latanya and um who else came in here? He said, "Is it just the church?" What do you mean? Is it just the church? Definitely, it's a pride thing, Jason. There's a lot of like I said, it's been brainwashed for years. It's not genetics in a man or a woman to do these things. It's
Hmm.
stuff that's been passed on, and no one challenges it. And then when you see there's so many castrated men in the church that will never challenge it because they scary,
Hmm.
it keeps getting perpetuated to the next one. All of these, you know, this is the other thing. People have this image that the more spiritual you are, the more feminine you have to be. Soon
Oh
as
Lord.
their wrists get limp, they act like they fat passing out for every 2 minutes. They gotta eh, that was a good word. Y'all should have shouted on that. Oh, I can't believe it. Whoo. Let me start shaking and kicking my foot for
Oh
no reason because I got Tourette's. All these things that supposedly make you more spiritual.
Oh, good God. Good God.
Where in the scripture is that?
Man.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
And that is a form of man hate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Look
man.
look no further than typically a worship leader if he's male. He's the femininist male, and that's not a word. I know that's made up a word. But absolutely, Latanya, absolutely. Now they don't like to say it, they don't like to hear it, because I've talked to many a church man, and they're like, "There's no hate, because you're the one a part of it. You supporting it, you know." And
And you know
I'll
what's
look you
bad
dead in the
about that,
face and
bro?
say, "That's you."
When I used to go to certain churches, and if I direct the choir or music, that's the first thing they thought.
Was I talking about you?
That's the, that's the, and it was sad because it was like I gave off no indication of any type of femininity. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like the first thing they thought
Well,
of
I
was
don't know. You
like,
do have those fitted pants, though.
"Hey man,
Just
don't
saying.
even start with me. Don't even start with me here."
You know what I'm saying? You had some of them church moms up in there like, excuse me, young man, excuse me.
Oh man, but
I
it's
don't
like
know.
when I said that I was interested in women, it was like a shock. It was like, wait,
See?
what?
They like,
It was
they
like,
is new.
no, like I asked the girl, I'm like, what gave you an indication that you would thought I was that? But she was like, well, to be honest, most of the people that come here are gay or
Wow.
feminine, and
Right,
I'm
right.
like, she's like, you're the first.
Oh man, I lost him. He was in. Oh, there he is. He's back. All right, cool. Hold on.
Like that, you were the first. I was the first male that ever came to that church that didn't show any tendencies, but people were speculating because it's normal, and it's crazy because when I seen so many people in churches, like especially under certain people who man hate, and you could tell they're man haters or they're under woman leadership, they are this way,
Yeah.
and not. It's crazy because it's never talked about,
No.
nor is it addressed.
It's like
It's
they're almost
just
embarrassed. It's like it's to me it's no different than the racism nowadays. It's
uh
like no one wants to be called a racist, but they're doing
huh
it all day long.
exactly, and it's just
That's
like,
it.
man, it's crazy, doc.
To the rich man, as soon as you realize the world hate your place with the most high, the better you off. It all makes sense from there. Okay. He said me either. What you me either in? So you don't go to church? All that scripture you be talking about, Chanel, you don't go to church? What's going on over there?
They don't
Greasy
go to
out of
church.
FB chair. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to him. Telling the congregation about your man or baby daddy that cheated, that's not a testimony. That's belittling. Absolutely. I had to approve that message right there. But that's all you hear. Testimony would be, my ex beat me for months. It was hurt, and I survived. God spared my life, and I'm here to tell you the story that I made it. That's when the testimony. If anyone stand before the congregation and speak badly of anyone else. But exactly. And how many churches do that, Yolanda? I agree with you 100%, Yolanda, with the E. But yes, they they do that. They do that all the time, and there's no one to check them, you know. Um, but and that's a part of another subject I'm not going to get into. But the 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 pecking order, the priority. If there is a women's ministry, whether it's an event, whether it's just the ministry in itself, it's going to be top priority. Whether the scheduling, the amount of events, the money poured into the event, like if there's a fraction of money going towards different ministries, a large chunk is going to the women's ministry. Their name is going to be something lovely like the Ladies of Honor and the virtuous women of God, or something very, enlightening and wonderful and elegant. The men's ministry, them dudes, they ain't
Them
gonna have
guys.
no name. The only time they meet is when they want to
Bro.
do something. Oh, we need to go minister to some to the lost. Get the men together. Oh, we got to go and um, police the neighborhood. Get the guys. Cut some grass. Paint some houses. All labor type stuff. We need to move things. The moving crew. Oh, this
Mm-hmm.
lady needs to move from here to here. Go hire somebody. I'm not your mover. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he said they hate bearded men. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. It's too masculine for them. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be like that.
The beard game is strong. He said you worship at home and on Facebook. Okay, well, I'm gonna send you an invite next Sunday, Tabernacle of Worship. We're streaming online, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not sure what time that is in Vegas, but I will.
Oh, she in Vegas.
Yeah, she's in Vegas by way of. Well, no, she's from Louisiana, but she's in Vegas.
I got some friends out in Vegas. If you ever willing to go to church, I'll reach out to them. Good people.
She's not supposed to minister at all. Brenda's like, if you recall correctly, a woman is not supposed to even minister to a man without her head covered. There's supposed to be something about not having your head covered and or a woman having their head covered and a man not having their hair cut in the building, but
Right.
or when praying or whatnot.
Yeah.
But there is scripture that says a woman is not supposed to be in authority over a man, and that's First Timothy, I believe.
Oh, come on,
Um,
Bishop.
I'm telling you, I know the word now. I'm not one of
Come on,
these
Bishop.
rookies just read something off TV or something. You know what I mean? Come on, but I'm not the movers. Nah, you better get two men in the truck, something. Um, oh, you worship on Saturday. Gotcha. Okay, do your thing.
I know.
You'll be
7-Day
welcome. You
Adventist
have an
church
open
too.
invite. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, and so yeah, I talked to these people all day long, and I had no doubts that they weren't going to show up. But I was going to give somebody the
Hmm.
benefit of the doubt that they may come through and try to be enlightened. Because there's one thing to stand confident that you don't believe this happened, but you don't show up. You know
Hmm.
it's there, and you know
Yeah.
you're guilty of it. And
And it's a
trust and
lot of
believe,
people
you're
like
gonna have
that,
to see me come
especially
Saturday,
your homeboy.
and I'm gonna have a talk with him.
What's your homeboy name that always arguing with me?
Who's that?
The old guy, the old head.
Not Larry.
Yeah, him.
That cornball, yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, he little kiss. He like to kiss women behind, and then you
No,
like,
yeah,
why you
yeah.
mad at me? Man, shut up.
And you always want to challenge me. Yeah, I'm gonna challenge you when you wrong. That.
Exactly. But make it like it's something wrong with me, because the
Yeah,
other girl was like, oh, you must have some resentment, against women. Really?
and I hate
Do
that.
I?
I hate that.
My actions show I have resentment. How about let me bring my wife on and let her say it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
She had to
Because
correct
I'm
me a
making it
few
up.
times. Not me, Sonny. I love you, Sonny.
I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't she don't walk around in fear of me. Understand that. You know what I mean? But that's that go-to. Whenever they don't like me checking them, oh, you must hate women.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I want them to be accountable?
Mm-hmm.
How is that hate? Whereas on the other side, you have these women that are like, I want you to change, but you need to accept me as the way I am.
Oh yeah, I posted something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I told you they want things always with stipulations. People like
Absolutely,
that.
Brenda. He said a woman with unbelieving husband is still honor her husband and allow her conduct to sway him. Now granted, sometimes they try to use that to say, well, all these men need to be taught. Because I've had people address me like my wife brought me to church. No, I
Brenda sound
met
like
my
an
wife
evangelist.
in church, not her bring me there. I was already there. But But anything to put the woman in a great light and the guy in the bad light,
Oh,
that's
Walker's crazy, man.
that's the thing, which is like that is a form of man hate.
Yeah.
Um, and also, whenever they say, okay, well, why is this happening? They don't say, hey,
Oh, yeah.
men and women are at fault. They only say men are at fault.
Jackson Frost said the emasculated shots taken at men. He's feminine. He's gay or anything. But what he's repping. A real man in church is really taxing for men who don't conform to what women are wanting in a man. Again, most women don't understand the example of what a real man is supposed to be, and
Right.
that's 100% correct. Because here's the thing: us, I take it from men. We know what we want. You get what I'm saying? But then we also know that it's not gonna be perfect. But is it perfect for us? You get what I'm saying? Everybody need work. With
Mhm.
women nowadays, is everything to the T. Oh, he gotta be 6 foot tall. He gotta now I'm not 6 foot tall. I'm about 5'6", 5'7". But
Mhm.
let me tell you something. If I'm not your height, friend, you wanna go there, go there. Oh, he gotta be this. Oh, if I'm not that, then you go. We're not settling.
Right.
If you don't want us, I'm not gonna try to make myself anything that I'm not, just
Right.
to conform you and comfort you. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
now, what the thing with women is that they try to change themselves to be how that person or individual want them to be, and then when it blow up in their face, all men are. You get what I'm saying? And if
Right. But
you're
why is
not a
it there's
certain way
never
how they
any
want you,
list for real women?
if you
There's
don't want
only
them,
something for real men.
uh huh. If you don't want them, then you everything or must be everything that Jack was talking about.
Absolutely. But what
It's
I'm saying is
crazy.
like, why is there never a real woman's list? A real woman's gonna do this. Well, we need to teach these boys how to treat a woman.
Yeah, man. You
Like the
know,
women know how to treat a man?
they don't even
Is
know how
that
to treat
default?
themselves with the decisions that they've been making.
Come on.
You hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
I want this man. Everybody. Oh, I want my Boaz. Listen. Oh, you ain't 31. You ain't. You not Ruth. Come on
Right.
now. You can't
Oh
want
yes.
something and
Speaking of
and
that,
and
come
you
on
don't
now.
have it.
How many times you hear I'm looking for my Boaz? You're not Ruth.
Yeah.
Why you looking for Boaz?
Uh huh.
You're not worthy of
Uh huh.
Boaz. But they always tell me some, oh yeah, don't mess with all his cousins, all the other curse words, you know. Um,
I said it. You told me to be sensitive.
yeah, I
I
ain't
said
like
it.
that. No, 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 no. I ain't like that.
I
Because it
said it.
makes every female feel empowered to look down their nose at everybody, knowing they're not even in my tax bracket. And I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
brag or be arrogant, but miss me with that.
Listen, I love it when some of my friends that are females, uh, they make sure whoever I'm interested in or I'm talking to, that they're the right person for me. If they don't like them, they're gonna let me know,
Right,
and not for the simple fact on character. It's about what you're bringing. They know
right,
how I am. You get what I'm
right.
saying? So all these women saying, "Oh, you gotta have a car, you gotta have this, you gotta have that," but you're
Those are
sitting
good
here
peoples.
you on the train out here in New York City in the bus. You walking. You working at the check cashing place, but you telling me I gotta have a 401k and a career?
Come on, man.
You
Come
get
on, man.
now, mind you, I have it. Glory be to God. But
No,
it
that
took
ain't
a
for you.
process.
That's for me.
You know what I'm saying? It took a process. It took a process.
Like
Now everybody
your
that
expectation
uh-huh.
should match your contribution.
Exactly.
You want
Exactly.
check cashing money?
And
That's what you get.
I I I follow what I preach about, even when I'm talking to you. If I feel a woman is out of my league and I cannot match up to that, now sometimes I may shoot my shot, but then I'm 100% honest as well. You get what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I'm not this. I cannot do this. I'm unable to do this, but
Hmm.
this is what I have to offer. If you're
Right.
willing to take it, that's fine. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? But if you're not, I humbly respect it as well. But when you want something, you got to speak.
I hear you. I hear you on that. Hold on. Let me see. I hope it didn't mess up again. Yeah, it's getting close. I'm telling you, this connection, boy. I tell you, it just comes out and comes back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not trying to come up on me, Chanel, for real, for real. Hypocrisy meaning I follow the scripture, but not this one. You can't pick and choose which one is one you will heed to. Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And it's like you just like I like when you say like if you broke, date somebody that's broke, come up together. You get what I'm saying? It's
Right,
you can't give people accolades and attributes that they should have that you're lacking in.
right. Hold on. He said, I hate hearing women say, accept me as I am. Be a Proverbs 31 woman, then you can be accepted as is until they're take guidance from Ephesians 5. Man, don't have a real Ephesians 5, man. There's your first problem. Um, I'm gonna have to read Ephesians 5. Um, I don't know off the top of my head. You know about that one, Pastor?
He's something else. That
You're something else. Um,
no, I don't. Ephesians 5.
hey, hush, Jose. I see you in there. Um,
Oh man, my camera dropping.
he said Ephesians 5. You know.
I'm back. I'm
Oh
back.
shoot, we're almost done. Let me read this Ephesians 5, and then I'll be done. Um, Ephesians. Oh, follow God's example. Um, oh, talking about love your wives just as Christ loved the church and give himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by washing her with the water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain, wrinkle, and other blemish, but holy and blameless. Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of knew that, but didn't know specifically. Um, yeah, they don't want to hear it. I mean, we had that long conversation about some darn teamwork. They don't want to do teamwork. You know, if you're
Oh
not bringing the
man,
same thing to the table, you
let me
really don't need to be at the table,
let me tell you. Let me tell
guy
you.
or girl.
I was talking to a young lady at one point who says she had her priorities kind of in line,
Hmm.
but out here, like I said, I try to explain to her that the economy doesn't match for one person to take care of the household unless you're kind of well off.
Hmm.
She said no. She said no man. You should not be able to marry somebody if you can't pay the whole rent. I said so. I said okay. I said fine. I said so. What else is it that he's supposed to do? She said, oh, just take care of me, take care of the kids. Da, da, da. So I asked. I said, what are you supposed to do? She said, oh, I could pick up a cable bill or something. I said, what the heck?
Yeah, see,
Let me tell you.
that's what kids do. That's
I
not
said,
adult stuff right there.
I said, oh no. She said, oh, I'm not splitting rent with nobody because I'm not nobody's roommate. I said, technically, you a lifelong roommate.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
oh man, when I tell you, I said, yeah, I'm done, man. I said,
Yeah. I think we're gonna have a part three. What y'all think?
okay, that'll be dope.
Cause I gotta get going. I got a meeting I gotta go to right after this. Um, yeah, lack of testicular fortitude for a minute. Hey, we're gonna work on that. I'll have to talk to you offline on that one, Jason. But I appreciate you, D Smalls, and who knows,
Definitely, bro.
you be up to do a part three next Monday.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Sound like a plan? Well,
Dope.
I appreciate everybody that was in here. Appreciate everybody's contributions, regardless if I agree with you or do not. You know, that's a part of the show. Still love you anyway. Remember, you're never too big to learn. You're never too small to teach. You don't have to think like me. You know, that is not the process. That's not the point of the show. But you do have to think. And other than that, you know, I don't know everything, just like I don't expect every one of y'all to know everything. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You know, we want to give a shout out to anybody real quick before we get up out of here, where they can follow you and, you know, because, you know, Instagram
Yeah,
experts.
yeah.
Let them know.
Well, you of course, my name is D Smalls, Desmond Smalls Jr. You can follow me on Facebook. Um, On IG is smallsjunior.d. And that's my Instagram. You can follow me. Me and Freddie gonna be doing some things together soon. Try to get this stuff together.
Yes,
But yeah,
sir.
that's I post a lot. I post a lot of stuff. I'm open to conversing and dialogue. So anytime, just hit me up.
Sound like a plan. Appreciate you, brother. We out. Chico
All
out.
right, Doc.
Peace.